Hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for. My name is Louise Alluin Bichet, and I'm not sure it's. Is it okay? Okay. Hello. I'm Louise Alluin Bichet, project director of Reporters Without Borders, which means in French Reporters Sans Frontières, so RSF. RSF is an international NGO which is fighting for free press, trustworthy journalism, the right to information for citizens. And it's an NGO that is looking for solutions, combine crisis context. So we can think about the tech crisis with media platforms which are demonetizing, prioritizing media content. We are also thinking about a liability crisis for media because it's, of course, difficult. Yes, of course. Shall I do something with that? No? Yeah, okay. A viability crisis, I was saying, with media markets currently pressured by diminishing monetization. And lastly, a trust crisis. To begin with, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. First of all, to your point of view, where could you read an in-depth analysis about the concrete consequences of climate change in your country? Or another one, where would you read the real consequences, again, for unemployed people in your country? And lastly, where could you read a judge's potential scandal corruption, for example, in your country? From where would you actually learn that kind of information? Climate change, unemployment, corruption, these are all subjects that are, of course, very linked to the Sustainable Development Goals. When you're looking for the right to information in the SDGs, you will find it quite lost, I would say, in the 16th SDG. Lost, as I was saying, between governance topics or institution topics, but the right to information is not clearly mentioned in the SDGs. And when you're looking for private bank investment on right to information, as I did to prepare the session, you will find nearly nothing. So it's basically what we are coming to say today. Yet press freedom and reliable information are key to development. They are preconditions for democracy. They are necessary to make individual and collective choices. And as I said, they are really crucial for democracy, but also for civic spaces. Yes, reliable information costs money, and they need your political support, and they need your financial support. You saw it, of course, with the USAID kind of breakdown. It had huge consequences. But the media market should be not that dependent to donations. The goal is to switch to investment from the public the development bank. But you, as public development bank, you need them as well. That's one of the key message today, is that, as I said, media market needs investment. But again, if you want real investment and development, sustainable development, you really need the media market. The state of press freedom in all its dimension, even the most modern one, like social media regulations, for example, are showing the level of democracy and civic spaces in the country. In that regard, you can refer to the annual index of RSF, who is showing and ranking countries regarding press freedom every year. You can also refer to that. again, development bank must include the right to information in their development policies and include the support for reliable journalism in their investment strategy. First, because reliable and independent information makes it possible to verify compliance with all the other human rights. If you don't have the right to information, if you don't have freedom of press in the country, you cannot report on the every other right. And second, because it's an extraordinary lever for development, as we were saying, sorry. And we are deeply thinking that if you don't invest in that, again, if you don't invest in free press, then all your other investments will almost be at a loss. If I'm going a bit further to the first question I raised, I ask you about the corruption one. How will you know if the investments that your bank is providing to a country to build a bridge, for example, or to build a subway, if it's feeding a corrupted system and there is no professional, ethical journalist to tell safely about the story, to inform you about it, then again, your infrastructure investment in that example would be at a loss. And it's the same for every subject, because journalists, trustworthy journalists, are giving you facts and not preconceived ideas. It's enabled to do to do individual and choices or collective choices with right information. So the media industry is obviously also an industry, a market, and it must just not survive, as we were saying before regarding USAID. It should innovate, it can reach profits, and other funding must be mobilized, especially investments and loans maybe. Two very concrete examples that we want to give you for investment. The first one is regarding, it's about Ukraine. So we, RSF, Reporters Without Borders, started an initiative for the IFPRUM, so International Funds for the Reconstruction of Ukrainian Media. It's backed and composed by Ukrainian media organization as well as international. The goal is to have a fair, centralized, coordinated system to distribute funds, international funds, from investors, including private banks, public development banks, that could feed the fund and help the Ukrainian media to reconstruct and to develop. This is a very interesting and important, crucial tool, of course, for the Ukrainian citizens, the Ukrainian population, in terms of, as we were saying at the beginning, democracy and civic space. It's also extremely important to fight back propaganda. It's important for Ukraine again, but also for the neighboring countries and for all democratic states, actually. For that fund, we know that we need nearly 96 million for the next 3 years. And that's why also we think that public development bank would be extremely interested to go into this fund. Again, it's a democratic stake. So for the second example, I will pass on the mic to William Bird.
Thank you. Hello, the crowd went wild. Good morning. Who here feels optimistic about our future? No one. Good. I thought about as much. It's a deeply anxiety-provoking time. And one of the core reasons for this, of course, is because over the last decade, and certainly more recently since the insanity and the fascism of the US particularly, we've seen trust in our institutions undermined consistently. And this is a problem because without trust, we have nothing. So one of the things that RSF has done is they created this fabulous thing called the JTI, or the Journalism Trust Initiative, which I strongly encourage you to go and look up. If you just Google that on RSF, you'll find it. And what it is it's an ISO standard that has got more than 130 different criteria that they use to effectively start to make sure that media can be used as a trustworthy and credible and reliable entity for us to get information from. And this might sound like something that's a bit counterintuitive because, of course, what we know is that most people rely on social media to get access to their news and information. The problem is that social media is literally in the hands of a few people, some of whom their concept and their grasp of reality and certainly their grasp of truth and facts is on a decline, like Donald Trump's red ties. It's just terrible. It's bottoming out everything. So we need trust, because if we're going to build and have any hope of rebuilding our sense of what it means to be operating in a multilateral world, to have a level and sense of equality for public development banks particularly, this isn't just a question of, oh, we should be here and support the media because they're a public good, which they are, which is what Louise has spoken about. But you need to be supporting these things because without them, we don't have trust. If we don't have trust in your institutions, think about this for your own institution and your own personal life. If you don't trust your partner, you're not going to want to invest time and energy in them. You're not going to want to take your partner out to dinner, and you're not going to want to buy them gifts. If people lose trust in your institutions, they're not going to want to support you, and why should they? So in a worst case scenario, you can easily imagine Elon Musk wakes up tomorrow and decides that public development banks are actually the sin of the world and that people should not invest in them. And then he gets their armies of trolls to go and climb on this bandwagon. What do you think that's going to do to your value as public development entities, as people who work in the public sector, as people who work in the private sector? You might think that you're too big and that you're immune to these things, but we all thought that big entities and institutions and democracies, including the United States, there's no hope of them possibly failing and doing things that are so counterproductive and so fundamentally idiotic that they may destroy the world. And yet, look at where we are. So, look at the JTI, invest in it, invest in media, because without it, we don't have trust. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. That was just 2 examples. We have many more if you're interested to discuss further about it. So, thank you very much.